right. So last time that we were together, we read the book Dolly Madison Saves George Washington. And you guys remember what skill we talked about?
Nope.
Do you remember? Look at our board. We wrote it down
Who,
as...
what, where, when, why.
Good job, Ethan. Yes, we talked about who, what, where, when, why, and how that helps us understand better what we're reading, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, so thinking about our book, who was the character in the book?
Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison, okay? And what did she do?
She saved George Washington. She saved his painting.
She saved his painting. Where were they at when she was trying to save the painting?
They were in the White House.
They were in the White House, you're right. Okay, and when did this happen?
1770 something.
Okay, so, but what did we talk about yesterday? It was when in the story did it happen?
In the middle, I think. Before the British attack.
Okay, it was in the middle, and it was, she was trying to get it done before the British attack. Why did she want to save the painting before the British attack?
Well, I'm pretty sure that they meant a lot. Like, those were the pictures of, like, all the presidents, so she might have saved them.
Yeah, she wanted to save George Washington's painting because it had a lot of history, right? And if it burned, they wouldn't have been able to get it back. So she was trying to save the painting, to kind of save a piece of history. Okay? So you guys did fabulous with your reading on Tuesday. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to work on our writing. And just like in reading, how there's different genres of books, different types of books, right?
Yeah.
What are some different types of books that you've read? Like, I'll give you an example, like fiction books. What are some other ones?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction, good. Can you think of another one?
I don't get this. Adventure.
Adventure. There's mystery books. And this book, remember we talked about how it's historical fiction, which means it has real characters, right? Parts of the story are real, and then parts of it are kind of made up. Yeah. Right?
Like it could happen.
It could happen. But and so Dolly Madison was a real person, right? Okay. And we know George Washington was a real person. Yeah. Yeah. Who was he?
The first president.
Yeah. So he is a real person. Dolly's a real person. This story probably happened. Are some of the things that they say, do we know if those happened? That might be made up, right? So that's like where the fiction part is. So today we're going to work on our writing, okay? And you guys are going to write using sequence words. Do you know what a sequence word is? Look at, I wrote a key word up here for you to help you.
Or in order.
In order, good. Yes. So sequence means that you're going to write things happening in order. Okay? So I have a little brain pop video we're going to watch that's going to help you come up with some ideas. We're going to brainstorm some ideas then of sequence words that you can use in your writing today. Oh, hold on. I think I have it muted. It's okay. I'll fix it.
You should read this book next, Moby. It's called Superbot and the Art Thief. I love this book because the plot is really exciting. A plot is all the events that happen in a story. Events in a story occur in a certain order. What is sequence? Sequence is the order in which things happen or are described. Uh-oh. Somebody is up to
because we're gonna come up with some ideas together.
To hatch her latest plan, the evil Dr. M breaks into the art museum. Then she steals the most famous painting in the world. Quick, turn on the signal. Meanwhile, a city. Next, he chases her through the park. After that, he chases her through the zoo. Evil Dr. M gets away, but Superbot doesn't give up easily. Evil Dr. M passes by a store. She just can't resist going inside. But it's a trap. Superbot saves the day. Finally, the painting is back in its rightful place. Transitions can tell you about the sequence of events. What are transitions? A transition is a word that connects ideas together. First, second, third, then, next, and finally are all transitions that describe the order of events. Before, after, later, while, and meanwhile are also transitions that tell about time. Sometimes transitions are called signal words because they're a signal for you to pay attention. As you read, look for transitions that tell you about the sequence. The transitions in this recipe tell you what to do in a certain order. First, cut the carrots. Second, cut the onions. Third, cut the celery. Before you fry them, add salt and pepper. That means the fourth step is to add salt and pepper. After that, you fry the vegetables. How can you take notes on the sequence of events? It's helpful to take notes on the sequence in a graphic organizer. I'm going to use these notes later to help me write a book report. In nonfiction writing, there might be dates and times that tell you when important events happened. You can make a timeline to help keep track of them. Informational writing might explain something.
Okay, we're going to stop
Teach how to do
that
something.
video there because they're going into informational writing and we're going to use it for something a little bit different. Okay, so you just listened to her tell the story, right, about Superbot. What were some of the words so that you knew what happened in order, Ethan?
Like first, then, next.
First, then,
Third.
next. You could use words, like third.
First, second.
Yep, we could do first, second, third. We could do that. What about like when you're at the end of something? What could you say to let them know that it's
Finally.
finally is a good one?
Like meanwhile.
Ooh, that's a really good one. Meanwhile. Good. Okay. What? Okay. All right. So today you guys are going to write a narrative story.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So we talked about just like we have reading, how we have all those different genres like we talked about, fiction, nonfiction, historical fiction, informational books. When you write, there's all different kinds of writing too. Yeah. So when you write though, there's all different types of writing. So you could write, and I paused it right at that part where she started talking about informational writing. What do you think you would do including informational writing? What word do you hear in that?
Later.
So like information, right? So you could, an informational piece, you would give facts and teach me something, tell me all about it. For narrative writing is like writing a story. So what are some things that stories have that you read? What like parts of it? Let me get you started. Like narrative writing has characters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what else would it have?
A plot.
Good.
Setting, like the settings.
Wow, Ethan, good. So it has settings.
If it's a chapter book, then a table of contents, maybe.
Okay, so it might have, if it's a chapter book, I'll put chapter. So it might have chapters, good.
Index.
And the index in the back. We use index, a lot of times index are in nonfiction books. So those are like books where you can look up where it would be true facts. But so we have characters, setting, a plot. So in the plot too that you said, Ethan, what's in a plot? There's character settings, and then what else?
Plot's like the main thing of what's happening.
Okay.
Like the event.
Oh, perfect word. So the events in the story, the things that happen. What were some things that happened in the book that you read already, Dolly Madison? Think about like your beginning, your middle, and your end. What happens in the beginning?
So she woke up to the sounds of gunshots,
Mm-hmm.
and she looked out the window and she saw the whole city catching on fire, and she's like, "Oh no, we need to go save the paintings."
Yeah. And then what happened, Oliver?
Then
So she says that she needs to go save the paintings, and then
they did save them.
she did go in there, right? And she had to save them. What was a problem when she went to save the painting? What happened? Yeah.
One of the George Washington painting was stuck to the wall, so they had to break the frame and just get the picture.
She had to break the frame and just get the picture. So that was kind of the problem in the story. And then how does this story end? How does this book leave us? What'd she do?
Like they needed to move far away.
So they were leaving the White House, right? Okay. Did she get the painting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So today what you guys are going to do is you're going to use your sequence words. You're going to make sure that you're telling us what happens in order, and you're going to write a narrative story. So you're going to write a story with characters and a beginning and a middle and an end with events that happen. And what you're going to do is you're going to write what happens next. So this book, look at the last page of your book. The last page
Was
Ethan, will you read that last page for us?
Donnelly looked back at the White House. The British soldiers were setting it on fire. Donnelly could not save the house, but she did save George Washington.
Okay, so that's where our story ends. You guys are going to continue the story, okay? So you're going to write what would happen next, okay? So it leaves us saying that she is leaving the White House. So what do you think could happen next? What are some ideas? What are some ideas you're thinking about that could happen next, Ethan?
Well, since that's all dark, everything there is all dark except for the fire. So maybe I'm kind of thinking about going them traveling somewhere where Hawaii or something like that.
Okay.
So no fights happen again. So
Ireland.
So so there's not gonna be another fight.
Okay, so they're probably going to try to get away from where the fighting is going on, right? So that might be a good part of your story. What else? Can you think of anything else that you might include?
Well, if she had anybody that lived out of the state or out of the country,
Okay, so you might
visit them.
Good. So you might have her go visit some family, go stay with some family, and tell us about what happens then. Oliver, what do you think?
Yeah, I think.
You think the same thing? That's good. Okay, so you guys are going to start writing. Oh, really quickly, your characters. Who is your character going to be?
Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison. Can you add some new characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can add some new ones, but make sure you include Dolly because we're continuing this story. So we want it to be I could read this story and get to page 16 at the end, and then I could just start reading yours and it would all flow together, right? Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some writing time, and then we're going to conference and we'll go over your writing together, okay? All right, you may get started writing.